Have you ever felt that life is utterly meaningless? That no matter how much you search, you can't find a definite purpose? Well, you're not alone. Albert Camus, a French philosopher, explored this feeling and coined it as the absurd. But here's the twist: Camus didn't see this as a reason to despair, he saw it as the ultimate freedom. In this video, we'll dive deep into absurdism, what it truly means, and most importantly, how we can live happily in a world without inherent meaning. Let's get started. What is absurdism? Absurdism is the belief that humans are constantly seeking meaning in a universe that offers none. Camus describes this conflict between our need for purpose and the universe's silence as the absurd. Unlike existentialism, which suggests we create our own meaning, absurdism suggests that meaning itself is an illusion. The feeling of absurdity arises when we confront life's randomness, when we realize that events don't unfold according to a grand cosmic plan. Imagine rolling dice your whole life, believing that someday, you'll roll the right number. Absurdism tells you that no number is right, and that's okay. Camus introduces the idea through the myth of Sisyphus, where Sisyphus is doomed to roll a boulder up a hill forever. Instead of despairing, Camus argues that we should embrace the struggle and find happiness within it. Rejecting traditional meaning for centuries, people have sought meaning through religion, philosophy, and ideology. But Camus challenges this, asking, what if there is no higher order? Does that mean we should fall into nihilism, believing that nothing matters? Camus says no. Instead, he argues that rejecting false meaning leads to true freedom. When we stop waiting for external validation, be it from gods, fate, or destiny, we can fully engage with life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Think about it, if life had an ultimate meaning, wouldn't that restrict us? Wouldn't we be trapped in a pre-designed path? Instead, absurdism tells us to break free and live life on our own terms. This rejection isn't about hopelessness, it's about liberation. Embracing the absurd. So how do we respond to the absurd? Camus offers three choices: suicide, a leap of faith, or acceptance. The first is surrendering to despair. The second is embracing religious or ideological illusions. The third, embracing the absurd, is the only true path to freedom. By accepting that life has no inherent meaning, we remove the burden of needing one. Instead of seeing life as a puzzle to solve, we see it as an experience to live. Think of a movie, you don't need a grand reason to enjoy it. You laugh, cry, and feel, simply because you're in the moment. When we embrace the absurd, we stop searching for a final answer. We start living with curiosity, passion, and a sense of adventure. We become like artists painting on an empty canvas, free to create without limits. Finding happiness in an absurd world. If life has no predefined purpose, how do we find happiness? Camus suggests we shift our focus from seeking meaning to embracing experience. One of the greatest lessons from absurdism is to find joy in the simple moments. Watching a sunset, laughing with friends, feeling the wind on your face, these moments don't need a higher purpose. They are valuable simply because they exist. Instead of waiting for happiness through achievement or recognition, we find it in the act of living. Love, art, and creativity flourish when we aren't chasing an ultimate goal but are instead fully immersed in the present. Camus famously said, "One must imagine Sisyphus happy." Why? Because even in endless struggle, Sisyphus can find joy. His defiance in the face of meaninglessness makes him powerful. And so can we. Absurdism in daily life now. How do we apply absurdism to our everyday lives? The answer is simple: by choosing to live fully despite the absurd. Stop waiting for a perfect life. Accept that there is no grand narrative, and that's what makes life exciting. Take risks, explore, and chase your passions, not because they lead somewhere, but because they bring joy in the moment. Laugh at the randomness of life. Find humor in the chaos. Absurdism doesn't deny pain, it teaches us to dance with it. When life feels overwhelming, remember, there's no right way to live, so create your own. Camus didn't want us to be miserable in an indifferent universe, he wanted us to rebel against meaninglessness with joy. So go out there and live absurdly, freely, and happily. Life doesn't have to be a riddle to solve. It doesn't have to be a ladder to climb. It just has to be lived. Absurdism isn't about giving up, it's about letting go. It's about embracing the absurd, rejecting false meaning, and finding happiness in the everyday. So, the next time you wonder, what's the point of all this? Remember, the point is whatever you make it. Go live, laugh, create, and love, not because you have to, but because you can. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more philosophical insights. And always remember, we must imagine Sisyphus happy.